Well, hello people, and welcome to an asset showcase for everything new in the 4th Creator Around the World pack, Japan. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is another behemoth of a pack, so without further ado, let's get stuck straight into checking out some of the finest new assets arriving for CS2. For free, as always, to download on Paradox Mods, which I will leave linked below. So first of all, let's start with our surface assets. We have the Japan City office here, which is a really nice building. This is City Administration, so you will find it under your Administration tab. And it's one of those buildings that's going to reduce loan, interest and import costs. But beyond that, very nice. Of course, it is covered in Japanese writing. It actually looks a lot like some of the stuff from the Modern Japan Content Creator Pack from Cities 1, doesn't it? Which would make sense, given the fact that Japanese-inspired assets. But either way, nice, big, central, chunky administration building for your city. The Japanese College is next to this, which is very impressive. It has this kind of big steel shell around the front of it, which I really like. Makes it look very modern. It does have a couple of upgrades. It's going to hold 10,000 people, which is a lot. It has a capacity increase on the front. And then there's also a cafeteria and store on the front there as well. So real nice building. Love this one. Really high capacity as well, 11,500 compared to the base game college, which is 10,000, which is very nice. Next to this is the Japanese fire station. Beautiful asset again. Just so surprised, well, not surprised really, just I guess taken aback by the quality and quantity we're getting from these creators around the world packs. I thought it might just be a few service assets when they were first announced, but there were a lot more than that. But real nice, tasteful, smaller fire station. Really like that. Next to this is the chunky fire station, the big boy, of course. Your inner city one. I love the little radio mast on top of it there. Plenty of car parking around the back. Love to see it. We have a garage extension, which will fill a lot of this space. Also a helipad on the roof alongside training facilities there. So you will actually end up filling up a lot of that space behind it with the final upgrades. But lovely new service assets. I'm always so grateful for new fire, police and medical. We have the Japanese Health and Welfare Office, a much smaller welfare building this time, which is nice to see. The vanilla one's so big. But lovely stuff, really nice, no upgrades to this one. But of course it's going to be doing the whole welfare mechanic in the city for you. Japanese Hospital is next door with just a singular upgrade, or a health check centre, which makes the building significantly taller. But nice detailing out the front with the planters, love to see it. And parking around the back. Quite a distinctive style building, that one as well, isn't it? It's very yellow, I suppose, isn't it? The whole page. This one is gorgeous. Look at this. Isn't this such a nice little modern building? The wood paneling on this is great. Absolutely superb. Love that. This is, of course, the regular medical centre. We just have an upgrade, which, of course, as always, is actually not increasing capacity for once. I don't know what that's doing. Just says, or monitoring conditions under medical supervision, and patients receive intensive care here. Doesn't seem to be given a buff to efficiency or capacity, so it is literally just an extension. Not sure if maybe that's going to come in later on. But really nice. Love the parking around this too. Really nice use of the services there. A great asset. One of my favourites from the pack, that one. Next door to this is the Japanese police headquarters, which is absolutely huge. A real chunky beast, and a very modern looking as well. It does have a couple of upgrades. It has a helipad for its roof, alongside a radio tower for its roof as well. But if you're looking for a much bigger police headquarters, this thing is expensive. 285,000 a month to upkeep. But it's very nice. Go very well in your downtowns. Smaller Japanese police station resides next door, of course, which has just a single garage extension for some more vehicles. But very tasteful again as well. Love the stairs at the front of this. Love it even have a little like disabled ramp as well. That's very nice. Great little attention to detail there. And then, yeah, just nice, simple, really well-modelled service assets. Japanese post office is next door. This one does not have any upgrades, but just going to give you a much smaller, more sensible post office asset to weave into your postal network. The Japanese radio mast is next door, again, which is an asset that's going to help boost your communication network under the telecoms tab. We have the Japanese Recycling Centre next door, which is very welcome to have a asset that is handling garbage that isn't so industrial looking. And I think because the current vanilla solutions for garbage are like really heavy, like the recycling centre is pretty massive and like super industrialized. Whereas this one is a little more tame, isn't it? Which I think I really appreciate. I'll be able to weave this into much more suburban areas without it sticking out like a sore thumb, I think. Little local recycling centre. Next up, we have the town elementary, which does have some level of detail glitching on the fencing. You can see it popping in and out there. Bearing in mind I am recording this kind of on a early access version of these assets, so maybe that'll come. It could also be my graphics settings too, but something to note on that regardless. But beyond that, it very much actually looks a lot like the Hearts of Korea elementary from Cities 1. For those that played that kind of big similar fenced-in vibe, that's obviously kind of a big Asian theme with schools, isn't it? Does have some upgrades. An extension wing increases the footprint of the building alongside an elementary gym, which sits in next door. You can also get this pool as a prop, which is incredible. We'll cover that when we come to the props later on as well. But another elementary school. If you're looking through the education options now, there's so many schools and colleges and universities from all these content creator packs. Like, this is crazy, considering pretty much, yeah, you know, if you discount the content creator pack stuff, like a lot of this is free. It's pretty mad. So many different assets now. The high school is in a very similar vein, just a slightly different footprint. We've got a football pitch on the back there as well, with some different parking, of course, with an extension wing, alongside another high school gym that adds some sports facilities into the high school. So really different assets there. Japanese University resides next door with an extension wing for 4,000 extra sims. And then there is the University Library, which increases their upkeep chance. This is a snappable building, and thankfully the radiuses have returned with this one. They weren't there for the UK one for some reason, but they are back for the Japanese one. So you can also get a little University Library there as well. But a much more different and less stylized university, which I really like, because look at the vanilla ones. Especially the base game university, this one. It's like super heavily themed, isn't it? Something a bit more just toned down is very welcome. And it's a really nice sprawling complex. You can easily imagine sketching out all these textures around the side of it. Really nice asset. Love to see that. And then lastly, we have the Japanese water treatment plant, which is just going to handle your sewage for you. So nice to see some more kind of dirty service assets included in that as well. And there are also two signature buildings that come with Japan Pack 2, both of which are offices. The first one is the offices of a sushi restaurant, which gives 2% office efficiency, 5% university interest, graduation chance, and well-being. And really wonderful asset. This will be a great addition into your skylines. I think we'll definitely squeeze these into downtown Edinburgh somewhere, I think. Really nice assets. And the much more modern one next door is Shiraniri Shimbun Head Office, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Which again is giving the office efficiency and university interest and graduation chance with well-being. And it is very modern, and I love that it's kind of got this almost hollow underneath where the lobby is, and you enter the building here. Really extendable, this, isn't it? To kind of draw out these textures again and expand the plaza around the foot of it. Super nice asset. Always grateful to see some more signature buildings into the game. And these two are both very welcome. So that does it for your service assets. Surprisingly, no train station in the Japan pack. Which I thought of all the packs to bring a train station, it would have been the Japan one, but no dice. Those are your service assets. Let's now turn around here to the next street and take a look at our low density residential. So something I love about the Japan pack is it's not overly stylized to be like super Japanese, where you would only ever be able to use the assets in a Japanese city. A lot of the assets blend in really nicely with the existing assets we already have. But here's various different samples. There's obviously hundreds of different variations with the left and the rights and the slightly different sized gardens you get with them. But there's a good set of different assets here that come with the low density residential option. So I'm really enjoying just how almost kind of unstylized they are. They're going to blend in very nicely with different buildings. But beyond that, just supreme work again. From the insane talented CS communities, even guys have got a little garden at the front, isn't that splendid? New fence props as well. New gates, which can all be used as props. We'll get to those a bit later on in the showcase. All different sizes and footprints here. Again, there is just hundreds of new assets arriving with these little carports at the front. Balconies, basketball hoops around the back. Very cute. Little gardens. I love that. That's such a nice little design, isn't it? The little growth there. So it's super nice. So yeah, always welcome to have new low density assets. Definitely one of the more common zonings we tend to use in a cities build, isn't it? So stuff like this is always welcome. We do move into a little more stylized. As we move up through the levels, this one definitely kind of looks more Japanese, doesn't it, with the style of the roof there. But can still be used outside of a dedicated Japan build. Again, all different shapes and sizes. But all of them absolutely gorgeous. This big pink beast over here. Very nice, isn't it? Another carport around the back. And this one as well, a bit more stylized, this one, isn't it? But still really nice regardless. This one's even got a little wall around it. And this one actually really reminds me of a lot of the Cities 1 assets we got with the various different Asian packs, especially the Japanese and the Korea ones over the years. It's even got a little for sale sign at the front, isn't that nice? Very cute. Is that because there's no one living there? Yep, possibly, yeah. Which is really nice, I hadn't noticed that before. There's another little for sale sign down here as well, with a very modern building, look at that. Almost Green Cities style that, isn't it? But really cool regardless. Really nice houses. Again, stuff like this. It's essentially a lot of the housing in Phoenix, isn't it? It's kind of like single story homes. Very nice. So just gorgeous, again, as always. There's only so many adjectives I can use in these asset showcases, but they're all gorgeous. Look at this one. Really nice frontage to the house there. Great work behind it too. So you're going to be getting hundreds more new assets to be playing with this pack. Of course, all for free. You get these on Paradox mods. Real stylized one there. Love the different entrances on this one. And again, they do become distinctly more Japanese as they move up to their higher levels. Later stage plots. But beyond that, they are still absolutely gorgeous, which will do it for your low density residential options. Of course, all of these have kind of like duplicate assets with the left and right variations, so there's plenty more than this, but as a selection, you can see them here. Behind this next row is, well, the next street over is our medium density option, so your Japanese apartments. Again, which are all gorgeous. Love the stairs on this one. Great opportunities for fusing around here, I feel. And again, not overly stylized to the point where they would only really work in an Asian-inspired build. Some of these apartment blocks are very welcome, and again would partner really nicely with some of the UK pack stuff. And the German pack as well. But they're all just going to blend in so nicely together, giving us some much needed asset variation. And some really nicely shaped apartments too. Look at these ones. These are almost like little kind of motels, aren't they? Kind of much smaller apartment blocks. Which is definitely welcome. Different ones over here too. Or balcony work coming through. Even got a little sign on the balcony there too. Don't know what that would read. Parking at the front of this one. And I'm a big fan of all the staircases. I think just having the visual of staircases in the city makes such a difference to realism. Because they're everywhere. You see stairs all the time, right? But probably no tool in the base engine to create stairways, which I would really love to see actually. But really wonderful apartments. Love the little glass window in the balconies on this one. It's really nice. But your usual arrangement of props around the back. There's even bike covers here, which is interesting considering the game doesn't actually have bikes yet. I'm guessing they are going to come, but maybe that's a bit of a precursor for that. Maybe you can see the bike racks along the side. But really cool assets. Again, you can see how they're not overly stylized, right? Much wider numbers up here. Car heading through the back there. Gonna come park, look at that. Wonderful. Very nice. People moving into them. Very cool. Much more taller one here. Different colour palettes on the front of it too. Little green highlights are always welcome. Again, staircases at the back, right? I'm going to get some more different shaped ones here. Slightly more the Japanese theme starting to kick in around these assets toward the end. But just a wonderful collection of brand new medium density apartment options, which is desperately needed. Really not a huge fan of the base game apartments. They're all very cubey and blocky, but with these creators around the world packs now, we're getting so much more variation. So it's always welcome. Our next street over is our mixed use assets. So of course, you have medium density residential on the top floors with the commercial on the bottom, sorry. But all really nice. Again, you can see how they're moving up through their levels 1, 2, 3. So there's a bit of repetition here, but you're just getting a taller building with a few more floors essentially. But again, really nicely modelled. And it's nice to have some mixed use that isn't so over the top, you know, like these are much more kind of simple assets, aren't they? I feel like a lot of the mixed use, they're kind of like really big, grand buildings, but these Japanese ones are just a bit more sensible, a bit more tasteful, aren't they? Not as, I guess, in your face, I suppose. But different shapes and sizes kicking in. You can create some really cool kind of almost strip mall vibes with some of these assets, can't you? Really interesting kind of mixed use shapes. Much different to anything available in the game at the moment. There are different angles of buildings kicking in here. Some triangle roofs, some balconies along the front of this one. Again, usual car parking and arrangement of kind of commercial props around the back. She looks very sad sat on that bench, doesn't she? She's not homeless either. She's just here. It's a pretty grim place to live, to be fair. This is not the most efficient city layout ever. But really nice assets again. Parking around the back. This one feels a little bit more American, doesn't it? A bit more base game with this one with the red brick, but still really nice. Anyway, different angles. Love the balconies. Been really enjoying the balconies across the creators around the world packs actually. Always happy to see them return. And again, you can start to thinking about fusing some of these together to create larger blocks. Especially this one here is very fusible. So just increase the footprint of your developments. Even this one too, like it's such a small little tiny mixed use building, isn't it? Really nice. Again, just look at the texture work as well. And you get in real close to them. Like really, really good looking. I do like them. Another little carport around the back there too. Nice parking out the front. Really cool again. I love all the stone texture on this one. It's very nice. I love all the different signs here too. I guess you will have to buy into the Japanese writing available if you're going to mix and match the assets. Well, I suppose you could. So actually check if you can. You can't better bulldozer the Japanese signs off. Which not that I would want to anyway, but I guess if you are going to use them, you will have to get used to seeing Japanese writing around your city. But the certainly doesn't detract from them at all. And a lot of some of them are quite brutalist as well. Very cubey, just harsh concrete buildings, very realistic. Real different shape building there as well. So you can see, for those familiar with the UK, how these would blend in really nice with the UK pack, wouldn't they? Because a lot of them are very familiar to me at least. Nice balconies on the front. Different colour schemes. Again, as I mentioned with the last pack as well, it's nice to have some colour in the buildings, isn't it? Of course, we always play with recolor these days anyway, but those without mods or that just don't play with the recolor mod, much needed pops of reds, greens, oranges in these buildings. But they're nice, aren't they? I hope you all agree. You see again moving through their levels here as they get wider and taller. But these ones down here are really interesting. Again, the diffusing potentials for these are really interesting, aren't they? Kind of 2 or 3 of these in a row and you've created a little strip mall. Take the fencing off around the back and open them up for detailing. It's a really interesting part, this one. And tons of assets again as always, so. That is your mixed use for the Japanese pack. Again, coming in left and right variations where you want them as they move through their levels, so. More assets than are shown here. But they are essentially just duplicates, just with the slight variations. Our second to last street here is our commercial pack, which is really nice to finally get a commercial specialization here. So I'll show you have your residential, medium density, and mixed use. And we also get the Japanese commercial as well. Unfortunately, still no industrial zoning, and we only have still the French offices. So hopefully some of the content creator packs, or the creators around the world packs, sorry, they're two very different things, will eventually give us some office and industrial zoning. The Japanese commercial assets are where some of my favourite assets lie here. Again, they're all very tasteful, small, not over the top and in your face, and give us some really, really much needed low density commercial variation. I love this one here. The signs out the front. Really nice fencing around them. Little disabled ramps up to the front door again too. Give me those bike racks appearing on some of the sides. Pallets around the back. They're a really nice, sensible collection of commercial assets. Again, super fusible as well, isn't it? You grab 2 of these, stick them next door to each other with a little bit of move it, and you just got a little bit of a wider footprint there, haven't you, for splicing? Create some really interesting kind of shop frontages with that, can't you? All of these work like that as well. Create a little bit of a retail park with this one, couldn't you? Have several of these next to each other. Very sweet. This right here is one of my favourite assets. I love the shape of this one. It's really cool. Of the, so I guess it's like corrugated iron roofs, isn't it? Or corrugated steel or something. Very nice. Yeah, slightly different, taller, more leveled up version of previous assets. Very pink. Very nice. So really cool commercial buildings. Again, the addition of staircase, so powerful. It's just like a street frontage, isn't it? Seeing a staircase like that. I love the parking is underneath that one as well. That's such a cool asset, that one, isn't it? Real nice again with those bike ports on the front. But really interesting. Once bikes get introduced, are we going to see bikes parking in these, I wonder? Be interesting to see, won't it? Some more setback with the parking at the front again. Parking underneath the building is so cool. I really like that. Hopefully we'll see more assets in that kind of style. But I think for so long we've just had the European and the North American base game commercial assets, which are pretty bad in my opinion. I really, really don't like them. But this Japan pack brings in some really nice units. So we get a good taste of them here. Little table props out the front. Not overly signed as well, are they? This one is, I guess, available for rent. I guess that's kind of my take-home point compared to a lot of the base game assets. Is they're just everything's a bit more toned down, a bit more calmer, kind of like they've kind of sat and taken a big deep breath, if you like, before designing them, just resulting in a much more pleasing aesthetic of commercial. Got that one. I really love the little like rotunda on that. Isn't that cute? With the wood. And then these little like support beam-esque structures at the front. Very, very nice. And some interesting shapes as well, isn't there? I love some of the little like kind of domes they have on them. Nice angles. And similar asset positioning here, but with car parking at the front this time. And we're seeing some assets appear here again, just with slight variations on them. This one here is really nice. Staircase is coming up this time. Just awesome. Absolutely fabulous. Then we drop down in size here again. Some smaller assets at the front. And then they just continue in a pretty similar vein. And you see the different variations here, the left and right ones kicking in. Well, this should give you some much needed commercial variation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the community puts together with these in particular. I've been waiting for some low density commercial options to come in for a while. Japan, Creator Around the World pack really delivers on that front. Lovely stuff. We're also getting a whole bunch of props, so we're getting some of the shop fronts again. These are great for making custom stations, these shop frontages. Real nice. Here's that pool I saw earlier. So this is its own prop. You can pick this and place it down, which is really, really nice for having a pool like that. I'm not sure if we can... Yeah, you can sink it into the ground actually, if you don't want that foundation on it. That's going to be so powerful. That's such a nice park detailing asset to have a ploppable pool like that. Kind of the best bit about the park, to be honest. I really like that. Super nice. And then there's a whole bunch of props here. There's gates open and closed. Signage, more shop fronts. There's little kind of like storage shed here as well, which is such a useful park prop. Almost looks like kind of toilets, doesn't it? A whole bunch of new fences, including the school one. You can place this big tall green number if you want. This would be great for like a driving range or something, wouldn't it? If you're going to be doing like a golf course build. Real nice. And then a whole bunch of different fences, of course, all of which will work with your line tool fence mode if you want to draw out some new ones. And then even these two here. The carport glass shelter is going to be so cool for things like tram stops, train stations, custom stations for using these little covers. And then the bike shelter also as well. A little custom tram stops like that. So all in all, an absolutely wonderful pack. Again, that comes with hundreds more assets with all the variations factored in. So you'll have no shortage of new assets to play with. Again, I'm a huge fan of these creators around the world packs. And a massive shout out and congratulations to Kaminogi, Koma and Stop It D, the creators of this Japan around the world pack. Big shout out, you guys. You really, really nailed it. I've never really looked too much at Japan infrastructure for inspiration for my own builds. But of course, expect to see these across Edinburgh and in particular Kokai. I think we can definitely try do kind of a smaller Japanese village with some of these assets, and that'll be quite fitting for our tropical island setting. But all the service assets and everything else that come with it will absolutely be used across our series. Let me know what you think of this one, and don't forget the link is down to Paradox Mods below if you want to come and grab this pack for free, as always, with these creators around the world packs. Just absolutely fantastic. You compare this to some of the content creator packs we're getting, like we're getting more stuff for free than we are for paid. Which I don't know if that's part of their strategy, but it is certainly being noted and appreciated after a very rocky 14 months. See these creator packs finally coming out and just packed with so much quality and so much stuff all for free is at least doing the game's reputation some very much needed favours in my eyes. I'm really enjoying them. Let me know what you think of it. Massive shout out to the patrons supporting the channel. Special roll call to our golden eggs, Andrew Perez, Louis Adlam, Phoenix MD and Oh Hey Casino. You're all legends. Thank you for your support, guys. Links down below if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll shut up and leave it there. I'd like to thank you all so much indeed for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.